Well, guys, Elizabeth Holmes has been able to finagle her way out of reporting to prison. And this just baffles me because this woman has really made a mockery of that whole system in terms of serving her time and paying for her crimes that she's been convicted on. Okay. But hey, I want you to watch this and want you to ask yourself, would I be afforded this type of deference from the courts if I had been charged with, some of these offenses that she has been convicted of? Go ahead, hit subscribe, become a soldier of finance. It's easy to enlist. All you got to do is hit subscribe. Let me know you did so in the comments and I will salute you. I salute all of the soldiers of finance. Now I need everyone under the sound of my voice. I don't care when you're listening to this video, hit thumbs up. It'll take you a microsecond. I don't know which one's shorter, a microsecond or a millisecond. Whichever one's the shortest, that's the time it'll take you to hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know that this type of content you want to see perpetuated. Share the content with a friend, with a loved one. Why do we do these crime and justice profiles? Because we always want to emphasize that it is easier to do the right thing when it comes to making money than it is to do the wrong thing, because all too often the wrong thing will catch up with you and end up costing you probably more money than you made in the scheme in the first place. And that is certainly true with Elizabeth Holmes, because when the feds come in, they seize everything. They don't play. Okay, all those ill-gotten gains, take it away from you. And then hit you with fines on top of that, okay? And then put you in jail. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes received a postponement of her surrender to federal prison in connection with an appeal of her case filed in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The former biotech entrepreneur and new mother was ordered, and I don't even know why they put that in there, because there are plenty of new mothers that are behind bars today, okay? In fact, there are young ladies who've given birth behind bars. That's pretty sad for the child, okay? They didn't do anything, but this is a fact. It happens. The former biotech entrepreneur and new mother was ordered by a federal district court to surrender her freedom to federal prison officials on April 27th. And that would have been tomorrow. From my perspective, at least. In a court filing Wednesday, her defense lawyers said that an appeal of her case filed with the Ninth Circuit on Tuesday temporarily shelved the district's court order. Please take notice that defendant Elizabeth Holmes, Bureau of Prisons, reporting date of April 27, 2023, has been automatically stayed by the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit by operation of the Ninth Circuit rules, unquote, court filing states. All right, so her lawyers are top notch, okay? This is one of the issues. There is a state's attorney, former state's attorney here in Baltimore who has been charged with some crimes. Now, sometimes folk can't afford these high-priced lawyers. She had attorneys. This is well known in the news. She had attorneys, and then they dropped out. And it is widely speculated that they did so because she actually filed with the courts as indigent, meaning that she doesn't have the money to pay them, okay? Now, she's no longer the state's attorney here. The trial is upcoming. They've asked for delays, which are highly appropriate, given the fact that her counsel, had to leave for whatever reason. And now she has a federal public defender. Now, no shade to the professionals in that office. These public defenders usually have a very high caseload. And in my discussions with attorneys, the public defenders are usually very good lawyers. They're just overloaded, and they have a little bit more compassion. They want to go out and defend people, who can't necessarily pay, right? But the caseload and the resources, for example, you can't hire expert witnesses, okay, investigators, and all of that if you can barely afford an attorney, right? And the state is not going to do that for you to the extent that you could, right? So if you got a public defender, you're not going to get access to appeals like this, okay, to be able to stay out of prison. Once you've been convicted and sentenced, my dog agrees. Because Holmes was on bail at the time the motion was filed, the document says her bail automatically remains in effect until the appellate courts rule on her motion. By law, an appeal stays the requirement to surrender when the court has not ruled on a motion to remain free on bail. The appellate court has not yet said when it will issue an order on the motion to remain free on bail. The court denied a similar motion for Holmes' co-defendant, Ramesh Sunny Balwani, who was her former boyfriend and Theranos chief operating officer. Balwani has since reported to prison. So looks like Balwani's attorneys didn't have as many tricks in their trick bag, and well, he's serving his time. Holmes is 39. She dazzled investors and media with the promise of her now defunct blood testing startup. She was convicted in January 2021. Okay, so here we are in April 2023, and she is still out. She was convicted on 4 counts at the time, criminally defrauding investors. All right. She had a technology that, if it had worked, it would have been wonderful. The jury decision came 5.5 years after an expose by the Wall Street Journal revealed Holmes had overhyped Theranos' finger stick technology. He was supposed to get a finger stick, take a little bit of blood, and diagnose all kinds of stuff. Everybody from Walgreens to, Stanford University, professors invested in this thing. Edward Davila, San Jose Federal District Court judge, presided over the case. All right, so Holmes, who knows when she will start serving. It's very interesting because we reported previously on the fact that Elizabeth Holmes had purchased a one-way ticket to Mexico. And she did that while she was, while her trial was going on, while this whole thing was being adjudicated. Okay, she had been charged with the crimes and then purchased a one-way airline ticket to Mexico. Now, you and I, we would have been under the prison, okay, if we tried that. That's obviously a flight risk, okay? And a brazen one at that, because wouldn't you at least want to make it look good? And if your intent was to flee, go ahead and buy a two-way ticket just to make it look good, throw them off the scent. With a one-way ticket. Ended up saying, yeah, we're going to drive back. When they caught her, we were going to drive back. We're going to drive back, okay, from Mexico. All right. And they weren't in Brownsville, okay. Not Brownsville. They weren't in Juarez, okay. So the saga of Elizabeth Holmes, we thought it was over, but it continues. The last video I did on her, I said, yeah, well, that's it. No more Elizabeth Holmes. We'll see her in, years from now. But no, it's still going on. So we'll continue to kind of follow it and tell you what's going on with that. Now, we did a video where we're talking about Taylor Swift, of all people. Taylor Swift, she actually outfoxed Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried offered her $100 million. And she asked a few questions and then decided, you know what? I'm not messing with this guy. What Taylor Swift did is one heck of an example of how we should be, one way we should be looking at our investments. So check out that video. We're talking about that guy, Sam Bankman-Fried, who he's under federal indictment, several right now. We'll see how his cases work out. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon.